Morning, আমরা week beginning 9th November, we are trying to explain how the market is likely to behave. Much will depend. At the time of my shoot, I am not aware of what Bihar elections likely to give some kind of mandate to BJP. Assuming it does not, I think market would have discounted that they will not get the mandate. On the other hand, if they get the mandate as per Chanakya or NDTV exit poll report, then there will be temporary quite a bit of euphoria in the market. And that's the structure. But typically what happens, the euphorias are short-lived for reasons that the attention will be, in that case, towards the global market after the euphoria is over. So say if there's euphoria, the Nifty future, which has closed below 8,000, can move up to about 8,200, 250 at the maximum situation. And similarly, Bank Nifty, which is below 17,200, can move up to about 17,500. Now the trick is what to trade at that point of time. The trade is that you go short at that point of time. In case of Nifty, you will have to keep a stop of 8,300. And in case of Bank Nifty, you have to keep a stop of 17,650. This is the more or less the guideline for if there is a euphoric gap up or euphoric movement in terms of the results. Now there could be a situation where it is a hung situation where no one has a majority and then the horse trading will start. And so there will be a bit of volatility during the course of the horse trading, and thereby one would not exactly know what BJP stance would be or what the Mahagathbandhan stance would be. So that's another period of some kind of waiting. Nevertheless, the market is famous for discounting things in advance. We had about 7.5% fall in Nifty from last week, or from the recent top. So that should be fair enough for the fall. And market will now look forward towards the futuristic issues which might come up post this particular political event. In the meantime, what has happened is that I think State Bank of India's results is a bit encouraging. The commentary by the chairperson is encouraging and maybe pointing towards a situation where the bottoming of the economy is quite happening. In fact, there's a PM himself has reiterated on last Friday that the economy is doing much better, which I also think, not that it is entirely to his credit. I think the major reason was the fall in the oil prices, which has caused a lower fiscal deficit, that has caused a lower inflation, that has caused a bit of stability in the rupee, and that has caused lower commodity prices and thereby lesser input cost. So the fact remains that the balance sheet is looking good, of India's balance sheet is looking good, and that is important. As what is the reason did not be pronounced or did not be debated upon. Some reason always happens for the profitability of a company. Some reasons always happen for the loss of the company, like in the case of Tata Motors. The Chinese sales of Jaguar and Land Rover has caused a dent into the Tata Motors profitability and thereby the loss for this quarter. So that is the reason, and at one point of time that was the reason why Tata Motors has been having profits for quarter by quarter. In fact, I think this is the 25th quarter where the first time Tata Motors has reported a loss. Now, does that take away the sheen in Tata Motors? As I was saying, that Tata Motors in future needs to do certain homework, good homework. Cost reduction is obviously on the cards, but I think the They have to concentrate more on the India sales, which is not doing tremendously well. But there is enough of opportunity with the kind of product portfolio what Tata Motors has in the various transportation segment. They should be able to do a bit better. The quality has to improve. There are concerns about quality going here and there. So I don't know. 410 closing would be important technically, and maintaining 385 will be important support which should be maintained. Suppose it trades below 385, then you can go short with stop loss of 397. Suppose it moves above 410, then I am too sure that it's going towards 444. In that case, the stop would be 402. So these are two trading points in Tata Motors for this week. Now look at State Bank of India. With all that good things I spoke about State Bank of India, then let's say it doesn't move above 257, then on the upper side you can go short stop loss 262. And suppose this results is liked by the market, it should not crack 233. So thereby any buy will have a stop loss of 233. Now within and up to 262, obviously there will be jerks here and there. I think 254, 55 is the area of resistance, which will have quite a bit of retracements if that area is not taken out. Interestingly, there are not many mid-cap ideas which failed to perform last week. And while trying to perform, it tanked. Dr. Reddy is a case in point with the US FDA banning 3 facilities of Dr. Reddy. Rather, it's a warning notice. It's the notice has to be answered in the next 15 days. And if they're happy with the answers, then no ban. If they're not happy with the answers, then some production facilities has to be changed and reoriented to be in parity with the FDA guidelines. Dr. Reddy has been exporting to America for a long time, so they know all the tricks, or rather they know all the rules well. So Dr. Reddy tanked 15% on Friday and came down to about 3,600. Now whether this is a good to buy, I don't know, but then 3,200 is a good to buy. And if assuming that from here there's a bounce back case for Dr. Reddy, then 3,600 is the area to bounce back, and in that case I think the stop will be close to about 3,520. So it's about 40 point stop from here for the purpose of Dr. Reddy to again perform. The Cipla, San, Lupin, they all go through this FDA, US FDA rigmarole, but then they also manage it well after some point of time. Now, assuming you give some time and it trades further lower, we will enter 32-50 zone for kind of initiating long positions. That is something which gives you a great trading opportunity. And then when I talk about trading opportunity, I think opportunities exist in terms of trading in now on the other hand, since we are discussing about pharma, I think Sun Pharma is still a case for sell, and we should shortly see a technical level of 580. Now at this point of time, 615 to 620 is the resistance. So on the upper side, if you find Sun Pharma not trading above 624, go and short with a stop of 630. And Sun Pharma definitely is getting grilled for reasons that the Ranbaxy facilities of Sun Pharma is again subject to US FDA strictures, and they are in the process of sorting it out. So they will get it sorted out. So below 600 again Sun Pharma becomes a great buy. These are cases of failure. I'm not too sure about the mid caps, and we could take up certain mid caps like Nilkamal Plastic, which moved down, and maybe we will start entering below 970 all the way up to 850. It's a good case of buying. And now with the Swachh Bharat cess, additional cess for Swachh Bharat program getting implemented, I think there will be much more allocation towards the Swachh Bharat program. Nilkamal Plastic happens to be part of that Swachh Bharat program. Not that it's a very important company for the Swachh Bharat, but then the waste management, collection, the various corporations, municipal corporations, in a drive to clean their cities, Nilkamal definitely works in their favor. So we'll have to keep an eye on Nilkamal. Though technically it's a failure and technically it has failed and moving further low. But these are stocks which can be bought in installments at these trying times. Now let's look at let's say 8K mines. If you is to move towards 1750, I'll be very happy to buy it at 1750 levels, all the way down up to 1650. But 1850 is working to be a great resistance for 8K mines. 8K Mines incidentally is a company which has got a very small turnover and very small profit, and one would wonder why the valuations are so high, but then it's a San Francisco based company, though the registration and thing is in India and it's an Indian company, but the entire operations is run out of San Francisco. So I am presuming that the quality of the customers and the quality of the softwares, they are into cloud computing. That should be of very high standards, so the margin should be higher going forward. A. B is that the customer base or the clientele base would be much more broader in terms of international clients, by which the quality of the company will be further reinstated, and thereby it's trading at a very high PE and also at a high price. But then that's not the issue. The issue is that you don't get these kind of companies very often, and thereby you should be able to encash it over time. It's on the overbought situation, so technically there needs to be a correction, but one has to wait for that. In the meantime, what has happened is, for not very great reasons, except the jhamela with their technical collaborator, Ashok Leyland is into a bit of distress in terms of price. Should it be available 75-77 zone, Ashok Leyland is a crying buy, very simple as that. Now whether that is going to happen or not, I do not know, but current indicators suggest that Ashok Leyland is likely to trade on the lower side, and if that be the case, then it's a buy in that situation, and you have to keep a track of that into Ashok Leyland. We were discussing about Nilkamal. Have a look at the chart. So this 1150 is a double top area, and from there it failed to move after creating a slightly higher high. Now this entire bullish pattern has got engulfed by the three bars you see. The entire bullish candle got engulfed by the three bars you see, and thereby the support should now work somewhere here, which has been the earlier support area, which is about 950. So closer to 950 we should be buying it all the way up to 800. It's an accumulation zone in that case, and one would be able to benefit out of an income. I'm looking at Tata Elxsi. Tata Elxsi is in a range, and this range has been quite a bit of range in the sense like maybe we will take this as the range top and we will take this as the range bottom, which is about 1750 versus 1950. So 200 rupees range has been created. Should it be available below the range, I think the entry point should be about 1660 levels, somewhere here, and then wait for some upward move. Now, suppose you buy over here, keep a very small stop of 1720 and try to buy. As a matter of fact, there is no point in putting stop. It's a matter of how fast you can actually buy and take some kind of movement upwards. It has an earlier high of 2300 types, so well corrected and should be an entry point any point of time. Now, last week there was a good movement in GM breweries, which was in my last seminar, and I spoke about GM breweries in the last seminar along with Pincon, and last seminar was somewhere, now that we are in November, I think I did it in September, and September the seminar, so that was in September. We were in GM breweries somewhere around here, which was about 325, and I explained why it should go up, and from there it has moved up to about 800. So I think that was overdone. It was not warranted. This kind of a movement is not warranted, and this is absolutely big bull charge. And now let it correct, and I think the correction could be as bad as here, which is about 650. So 100 rupees correction, we can enter GM breweries. And along with that, Radico Khaitan also did some kind of a movement and then fizzled out. So Radico Khaitan was also part of my India-made India liquor IL segment, which I explained in my seminar, that there are two kinds of segments of the liquor, which is of the IMFL, which is India-made foreign liquor, the other is India-made India liquor. And they're talking about Pincon or GM breweries or let's say Radico Khaitan from the IMIL segment, though Radico Khaitan has got IMFL sector in terms of 8 PM whiskey and all that. Now here there are some movements in the Radico Khaitan. Movement suggests that you can buy at this present juncture, keeping 99 as stop, and it will start trading in a range with 110 to 11 as the upper side of the range. So 100 to 111, a 10% movement can happen every week or any week. So this is a good trading opportunity for people who would like to take advantage of this thing. I've got questions from Amitabh Ghosh. He has bought granules at 133. Whether to sell, hold or book profit for this one. Granules, if you look at the chart, it made a movement. The movement was a breakout movement above 134, went up to about 164, now is about 141. So you did not react here, you are reacting at a place which possibly again becomes a buying zone for some reason at this juncture. We have been having a correction because of this tremendous move we had. So this correction is very natural. Now the resistance point will now be 155, 156, and the support point will be roughly 134, 35. Now if you choose to sell, you are basically booking a very small profit, fair enough, no issue. But try to book profit on the day it tries to move up. The day it tries to move up, and keep in mind that 156 would be a stop point for your sale. If it starts trading above 156, then you can reinstate your sold position. The point is, as I have been training people and I've been teaching people, when you have a 164 resistance and suppose you have bought it at 130, your point of sale would be, suppose the stock starts trading 5% below the high. So 164 minus 5%, whatever it is, the moment you see that that is trading, below that you should sell. Uh, let's say in my earlier example of Radico Khaitan, which went up to 100, say Radico Khaitan, this went up to 160. Now if you take 5% of that, which is roughly about $6, so below 110, it's a sell. Now the question is that if you bought at 114, you sell at 110, you get back to cover at 103. So that is what the whole subject of trading is. আমার নতুন বই শেয়ার অমনিবাস, which is comprising of my old share redone, comprising of SIP redone, comprising of portfolio management redone, comprising of profit booking redone. Everything is coming in a compendium volume and it's all rewritten, rethought, which should be ready. I've given it for composing. So let's say another 1.5 months time, by just at December end, I should be ready to release a book. I think that will take care of not many people's one point book to understand. People who have earlier read my earlier books on share or a portfolio management or they also need to buy it, because I have really changed the entire content, and I think the content is much more mature, much more experienced writing, much more relevant in the present situation. Since stock market is a dynamic situation, it is something not like Bankim Chandra or Sharat Chandra's novel, which is like read for all the time to come, because the stories don't change. Stock market stories change on a regular basis, and thereby you need to update, you need to recreate. Also, I'm recreating the future option book through a new name called Derivatives. I have to write not many things about futures options. The knowledge I had for 6-7 years back when I wrote my futures option for the first time, and possibly the knowledge I've gained over the last 6 years, makes it a point that you rewrite the book and rewrite the concepts and rewrite the things. So entire thing is coming up. Either they all get released during the book fair, Boimela, or it gets released between December and January in phases. My another question has been from Bonoshri Mukherjee regarding whether the magazine 2016, Shera 2016, will have an e-version or not. Definitely it will have also an e-version. But I'm right now in the composing, I'm not in the writing stage of the magazine, so it will take time, because it has to be a thought for the entire 2016. I cannot really go wrong on the entire 2016, and so many things can change in 2016. But definitely the change is for better, so you have to identify the stocks. Now let's say when I identified my last magazine, Tata Elxsi at 350, to now think about Tata Elxsi at 1600, we'll have to go through a kind of a different kind of a positioning. Whether Tata Elxsi will be included in this magazine or not, I do not know. But assuming that I'm putting in Tata Elxsi once again, then I have to give you a much more better idea about things. A couple of new stocks are in my mind, which will be covered in the magazine. Of course, maybe I'll have a seminar prior to the budget in February. That will also speak about not many stocks. That will be much more towards the budget, keeping the budget in mind. So that's a different chapter. But 2016 Shera magazine will have to include lot many government policies, and thereby the impact of that into the specific corporates. So that's the way I'm designing the things. So we talked about Radico Khaitan, we talked about GM Breweries, we talked about Nilkamal Plastics, and we spoke about Tata Elxsi. And from the future side, I spoke about State Bank, I spoke about Tata Motors, I definitely told you about Sun Pharma and a bit of Dr. Reddy, and Nifty and Bank Nifty strategy. Suppose there's some euphoric movement. I think that should cover for the week, because the question is that in a volatile week like this, it's all on the daily basis as and when view changes, which will be updated in the Facebook, both for the paid version and both for the non-paid version. And I don't see any reason to have another YouTube program during the week because the stability factor has to first come in to find out how the market will shape up. We are into a negative zone in the market indices as such, but the PSU banking sector should now start looking up, especially after the commentary of the chairperson of State Bank of India. And as I have discussed to you about the State Bank, maybe a Bank of Baroda is overdone, maybe PNB should start looking up, and host of PSU stocks, PSU banking stocks should all do well. I'm not a keen supporter of PSU banks, and so my ideas will not really give you much bullish views, but technical charts suggest that there's not many bullish views on these particular stocks. So that's it about this week. যারা পেড ফেসবুকে পেড সার্ভিস দিচ্ছেন তারা through the Facebook can put up questions where you are having problems and all. Normally Monday beginning I'll start posting pre-market concept. That's about 8:45. I'll do a 11 o'clock kind of a idea follow-up, and I'll do a 2 o'clock, 2:30 types. What is best now in terms of selling or buying, or what is the view I have in the market. So it will be a three-phased attack through the paid. The people who are paying up for the Facebook services. So that's all about it. Wishing you a very happy Deepavali, and more to come in my programs. Somewhere you'll find advertisement regarding e-learning in this YouTube program. So access that organization to learn more about market. Thank you.